If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So let's have some recap on the yesterday's topics which we had covered. Yeah. So yesterday we covered the on our WMS system, introduction of the EWM systems, and what is the warehousing and the history of the warehouses, in WM systems, and also the landscape of the EWM systems. So all those topics we had seen in the yesterday's session, and we had started with the introduction of the EWM all warehouse layouts and the organization structure of the EWMs and ERP systems. Yeah. So if anyone has any doubts, queries from the yesterday's sessions, they are free to ask now.
I'm good from my end.
Okay, thank you. So we can start continue. So we were seen yesterday like what is the in ERP organization units, organizations elements we are there and prerequisites we can say to have the EWM warehouse managed system. As we seen yesterday, the company code, plant, and the storage locations like received on docks and available for sales. And then we'll also have some storage locations for the productions plant. You'll have the scrapping. Will have the separate storage location for even customer returns. So similar different kind of storage locations will be assigned to the one warehouse in the ERP, and that ERP warehouse will be again mapped to the EWM warehouse. So based on these settings, the whatever the inbound and outbound deliveries gets created, that will be automatically distributed to the EWM system based and once that the EWM deliveries got distributed, then you'll have the restriction that you cannot do any changes into the ERP inbound delivery or outbound delivery documents. Yeah. So in the architecture we saw yesterday master data, and this master data is transfer using so some of the master data plants, master vendor, customer. This all data is transfer using the BADI via distribution modules. These are the standard BADIs SAP has provided, that DebMAS, CREBMAS for batch. So the different message types are there, and based on that, that data will be transferred to the EWM system. And the whatever the ERP transactional data, again that will be transferred using the QRFCs. So we had started the organization structure in the EWM. So warehouse number is the highest entity where for each location or one where which one warehouse there will be the one building we can say in the simple language. For that building, SAP recommends to give the one warehouse number even if you have the multiple buildings, and which is not very nearby, or if it has the smaller even the some distance. So SAP recommends to consider that building as a warehouse number where you are storing your stocks. Yeah. So each building in the plants or nearby the production plants, so where we the manage the stocks for that, will have the one warehouse number uniquely. And then again we started with the storage types. So whatever the physical areas to perform the different activity or to store the data in the different categories into the warehouse. So SAP has come up with this concept called storage types. Yeah. So every physical area represents in the warehouse will be created as a storage types. Even the doors and also staging areas or any activity areas. So activity where we perform like packing, repacking, and high racks, bulk storage, whatever the or different physical areas in the warehouse will be represented as a storage types. Yeah. Then uh, we'll have the storage sections again in the that storage type. If you need to sections, the some stock should be in the some in the, some different area, and some kind of stock should be in some different area, so that we can consider that is as a storage section, like a fast moving stock or slow moving stock, or you will have something uh, high rack stack or low rack stack. Yeah, so that we can just consider as a storage section. And then you'll have the entity is called storage bin. In the storage bin, in the storage bin, you'll this is the storage bin where you'll put physically stocked in the proper manner way. Yeah, so in the storage section you can have the storage bin, or there is nothing mandatory, like storage section is not mandatory. So without storage section you can directly have the storage bins created to the and associated to the storage types, where you will put the euro stock inside the storage type. So storage bins are mandatory. And yeah, then you'll have this next entity is activity area. Again, as I said yesterday, activity area will be represented as a logical units into the warehouse, where you'll require that activity area to perform different activity, like picking activity, put away activity means picking means to removing the stock from the storage bin, or put away activity means to put the stock into the storage bin once we receive from the external supplier, or from another plants into this warehouse. Yeah, and then also you'll have some internal activity in the warehouse itself, like moving the stocks from the one storage type to the another storage type, or from one place to the another place in the within the warehouse itself. So for that also we'll have the activity area created. In and that activity area can be created for the multiple storage type, for the multiple bins in it. So based on this activity area, you'll be assigning the queues, and based on the queues, the resource determination will be uh, happens. And so warehouse user, or warehouse manager or supervisor can assign that activity, different activity, to different users. So some bulk of users will perform the put away activity, or some bulk of user will perform the internal activity. Some bulk of users will perform the picking activity. So based on this activity area, supervisor can separate the work which is assigned to the warehouse operator. Yeah, anyone was asking, having any doubts?
Yeah, so I have a question here, Rohit. So
Yeah,
when you said, right, the storage storage section, for example, for fast storage section can be fast moving goods, another one can be slow moving goods, right?
yeah.
So can we have materials both in fast and slow? I mean, for example, one material is fast moving, and after a couple of months, we decide to move it to, it is not fast moving anymore. So in
Mhm.
that case, can we move it to slow moving? The point that I'm trying to ask is, in ERP, right?
Mhm,
If you have a
mhm,
material in one plant, if you want the same material in another plant, you have to extend the material to the other plant.
right.
Like in EWM, does it mean that you have to do something special on the material to move it to the slow moving, or any material can sit anywhere?
No, you'll have that indicators. Okay, whereas you'll have the additional tab for the material master into the once material transfer into the EWM system. So you'll have the one
Mm,
additional tab where warehousing and storage, warehousing data and the storage type data. So
mm,
in that you'll have the indicators where you'll provide the indicator, put away control indicator. Based on that indicator, the materials will move to the that particular areas. Yeah. So if you need to move the stock from the um, uh, from the high to the low, fast
mhm,
moving, then that indicator has to be changed. Yeah. But if you have some restriction, something like high rack and low rack, right? Suppose in the
ah,
high rack, you'll the material you'll have the pallet, right? In the racks,
mm,
you will have the pallets, and inside the pallets, you will have the products. Suppose in
mm,
high rack, the heights of the high rack bins it's a higher. and in the
Mm.
low rack heights of that products in bins it is lower. So you'll have that restriction if you have the requirement is such a way that high rack bins cannot be put into the low rack bins. Sorry, high rack bins product cannot be put into the low rack bins. Then that restriction also you'll have the option to do that. If you have that restriction, in that case it will not be possible to move that products. So it depends on the business requirement. If you they wanted to have the flexibility to move anytime from high to low, low and low to high, that also option will be available.
Okay.
So you'll have that
But
flexibility.
at the same time, materials cannot exist in both.
No, no, no. Material can be exist in the only one bin. Or you can have if you have the different batches, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
in that case you can have means one product can be available into the different bins, depends on
Mm-hmm.
your if you have the batch or if you have the different lot of quantities. That's also possible, not an issue. It is nothing like that. If you suppose when you got the 100 bin capacity is like 100 pieces, and but
Mm.
you will get the material of the 1,000 pieces, so that
Mm.
can be put into the different bins. And based on your removal rules or based on your put away rules, so like removal rules and put away rules are there, whether it is a PUPO or whether it is a first expiry first out, first input
Mm.
first out,
Mm.
based on
Mm.
that
Mm.
rules
Mm.
the
Mm.
products will be removed from the respective bins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it can be anywhere they can put it,
Okay.
but in different in the same section. If you have the sections, then the
Mm.
products will be go to the that particular sections. Yeah,
Okay.
and based on your packaging material or as the products, if you have the HU managed product or handling unit managed product, in that case based on packaging material it will determine the how much quantity for that pack we can have the materials into that particular bins. So that capacity checks and bin types also will be there. Based on that it will determine, and it will create that if you get the products of the 1,000 pieces, but the pallets which is going to be packed into the warehouse, it has the maximum limit of the 500 pieces. So that those product will be divided into two pallets, and that two pallets will be stored into the two different bins. Yeah, if you have
Mm.
the capacity of the bins 500 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
then
later at later stage you'll explain, right, what the handling unit is and
yes,
how
of
it
course,
works in the system. Okay.
that is the important topics. So you'll have that handling methods, that all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, after the bin, you'll have the one more detail level of entity, that is a cont, like something we can say in the storage bin. You'll have the product and with the batch 1, 2, 3. You'll can have the another product with the batch 2, 3, 4. So that is called, we'll have the two batches of the products into the one storage bin. So these are the two different stock available into the bin. So that is called cont, we say in the EWM terminology. Yeah. So when a customer asks for the goods of that particular products, picking from that particular products, based on your batch and the quantity of that products, you'll be fetched first based on your first expiry, first out removal strategy. So that is the lowest level entity in the warehouse you'll have. In yeah, then as we said, these are
Okay.
the some number of the length in the warehouse for this particular entities. You can have 4 digit for the warehouse number. Storage type, it again it should be the 4 digit. Storage section 4 digit, and then storage bin. This is the standard we earlier I think in WM and in older version it's 10 digit, but now it is with the 18 digit. Yeah, this is like you'll have different type of storage. As I was saying, storage type. You see here for the goods receipt area in the warehouse. As soon as we go get the receive the stocks into the warehouse, let it be from production line or let it be from the external supplier or from any other plant. So you'll have the once stocks comes into the warehouse in the that area, which your area which is there will be represented as a separate storage type. So you can see this 9020. This is a standard storage type SAP has provided. Even for the goods doors, whatever it is door, that doors also represented as our storage type into the warehouse. Everything will start with the storage type into the warehouse. Even the yard management here, parking lot, whatever it is there, if that also needs to be scooped into the EWM, then that is called as a yard management. So in big warehouses, this is the complex where they have the complex yard management. That again has to be business or SAP has provided a solution to manage that also into the EWM system. That is called ad management functionality. So ad management also will represent as a one storage type. Yeah, then again you'll have a different storage type like high rack storage area, block storage area where you'll put the block stocks. Then you'll have the fixed bin storage area. So different storage area will be represented as a separate storage type. And you in the whole warehouse, one important point I missed out to mention, in the whole warehouse, the bin number should be unique. Okay, it should not be something for a different these two storage type with the bin as will have the separate storage type, but bin for this in the storage type and in the storage type can be same. No, it is in the bin coordination will be from the warehouse number till the storage bin. So SAP represent or SAP supports only the unique bin numbering into the warehouse, yeah, irrespective of the storage type. Yeah, in the storage section, as I was saying, this will be some subdivision of the storage type, which will differentiate like heavy parts, bulky parts, fast moving item or slow moving items. So if you have the such a requirements in the warehouse, then that can be represented as a storage section. Yeah, then you can see in the picture, suppose this is a bin type, you can see low bins, high bins. In the if you have the racks and storage section, we can consider this from this aisle till here is this section, or we can if you have the high rack or low racks, the above section can be considered as a above area can be considered as a one storage section. And if you have, you can also divide it into fast moving, slow moving. It depends on the business requirement how they want it to have. So that area can be represented as a one storage storage section. And you'll have something, you see the coordination of the bins 020203, right? So you'll see 012. This is a you'll have the what we say, uh, this is the aisle, then you'll have the stack second, and the bin stack second, one stack the two, and this is the level two, this is the uh, second stack, level two second stack, and the bin number will be the three. So this is coordination of will be created something like that in the warehouse. So depends on the how the racks complexities, and that you'll consider this, you'll have this one rack here, another rack here. So here this area will be considered as a one aisle, stack, level, and the bin. Yeah, yeah. As this is storage type, this is the like a smallest unit in the warehouse, as I was saying, where you'll put actually your products into the warehouse. Yeah, the coordination you can see like a aisle one, stack two, level three. The bin you'll have. You can have
So
the some, yeah,
your storage bin cannot be alphanumeric.
alphanumeric. Yes, you can have that also. It's nothing
Okay.
like, but SAP recommends the such a way if you have the complex. bins. So this is something SAP standard provided. You just has to follow some this way. But you can have the anything. Storage bin can be XYZ. You can
Okay.
have the. Yeah, and then storage bin also will have the different functionality like how much maximum capacity or maximum weights that can be consist. And if storage bin type, again, if you have the as I was saying you, if you don't have the if you have the different kind of materials which needs to be stored into the same storage type, and some suppose initial highest level bins in the rack should be for the larger pallets, or and in the smallest level bins should be in the lower level bins should be in the smallest part. So differentiate that, you'll have this different storage type bins. Yeah, based on that you'll mm, system will get to know whether that beans is a which type of beans it is, whether it is a larger or smallest part to be stored into that. Yeah, so it has a different limitations or validations or options to where you'll have the based on that the storing of the materials into that particular bins can be controlled. Yeah, and again, you'll have something put away strategies and the stock remote strategies, that all everything will be determined based on the whatever the settings you are going to do into the storage bin level. Yeah, I will explain you in the detail going forward what is the put away strategy and what is the remote strategies. So this is something put away strategy is nothing to put the stock into the warehouse. System should propose from starting itself when warehouse comes, when the products come into the warehouse, from starting the unloading itself, system should propose the final bin itself as soon as that kind of product comes, because warehouse people means will set up the system such a way that XYZ kind of product should go into the bin one. So as soon as that product comes into the warehouse, as soon as the unloading of that product is done, system will automatically determine there itself into the that unloading area itself that where that product has to be go, and it will determine automatically the storage bin, and that task everything will be done automatically. System will propose that based on your put away strategies. Similarly, if we got the customer given the order to pick the product something XYZ from the most warehouse, immediately as soon as outbound delivery got created and the outbound delivery gets distributed into the EWM system will automatically determine remove that this particular XYZ products from that bin and bring it into the your staging area of the outbound. Yeah, so that is called your different put away strategy and stock removal strategy or picking strategies. Yeah, again, the activity area, as I was saying, this is the something logical groups of the bins that can be again used for the picking, put away activity or physical inventory activities into the warehouse. And you'll need to enable the sorting, the bin sequence, and queue determination, and how the warehouse orders in the warehouse should be created, and that based on your queue determination and the warehouse orders, again, it will be assigned to that particular users which is there in the warehouse. So this is the most important entity to do any activity into the warehouse. Yeah, and into the warehouse you'll for any task which you are going to do, okay, in the warehouse, that for that SAP will or EWM system, in EWM system it will create the warehouse task. If you need to move the stock from one bin to another bin, for that moment also SAP will create the warehouse task, and that warehouse task will be assigned, warehouse task number will be assigned to the particular operator, and that operator will once he perform that activity, he will confirm that warehouse task that he has completed that particular activity. This is how the works, or whatever the working is done, movement of the stocks done in the warehouse. This is how operators or super users or manager in the warehouses can track what are the activities are completed by that particular user into the warehouse, or any movements into the warehouse will be tracked in the warehouse task. And that warehouse task, if you have something, suppose moving the multiple products, right, and different products from the particular beans or some different beans, then you can have the multiple warehouse task into the warehouse order. Yeah, and in the warehouse order, this is the like a group of the warehouse task. We can say warehouse order is a group of the warehouse task, and that warehouse order can be assigned to that particular user. So he will just perform that particular task, whether let it be your picking moment task or a put away moment task. Yeah, this will see in the detail down going forward. What is the warehouse order details and what is the warehouse task? How it is the systems creates that we will see into the system once we start on our inbound process and outbound processes. You can see these activity areas that for different warehouse work or order to do the picking. Different operator will do the different warehouse moving the stock from the suppose from this aisle. The one operator can do the activity into the one aisle, another operator can do into the another aisle. So to do the perform activity from the that particular aisle based on the super user or manager's requirement, this can be assigned to the particular operator. That is the called activity area. Then you can see now, as I so told you, this is a count. What is the count? You will have the some materials bin in the bin, one material, two materials, different. If you have the even can put the different materials into the one bin, you know, or boxes, small boxes of the same material, and then that is called is as your count into the warehouse. The example of like structure, this is inbound truck, inbound staging area, deconsolidation area, whatever activity you are going to do into the warehouse. Then you'll have the high rack storage bins. Yeah.
Rohit, I have a question in your previous slide. So I can see materials which are sitting in quality inspection and unrestricted, which are sitting in the same bin.
Yeah.
So if a user goes to pick it up, will system will, I mean, using RF scanner or whatever device it is, right? So if he's
Mm.
going to pick, so will system throw an error saying that this stock is not available?
Yes, if you have the stock type of that particular materials, okay, into the warehouse, if it is the something quantity in the you'll have the something called physical quantity and available quantity, okay,
Mm.
into the warehouse. If you have the physical quantity available, then only the that stock is available to the remove. Sorry, available quantity, if it is available, you'll have the physical quantity. Suppose here four materials, okay, but here none of the material, suppose it is this is suppose five is unrestricted. That means it can be available for sale. Okay,
Correct.
restricted, if you have the restricted, it will not be available. Now you can see these two materials. Suppose this five material is in the quality status, or it is in the inspection status. Then in
Mm.
that case, system will show you the four is your physical quantity, but available quantity is a three. If you
Okay.
have the available quantity as a three, then that available quantity only is available for the removing from that storage bin. Otherwise, it will not show you. Yeah, system will not
No,
determine this
in
material.
system, no, in system I understood. I'm
Hmm.
asking physically. So physically, if a
Physi-
user is going right, how will, if you see both are lying in the same bin, how will the
Hmm.
user differentiate whether it is unrestricted or whether it is an inspection?
Okay, so for that, okay, you'll not have such a way actually. Okay, you'll have
Okay.
the to remove the some box. If this you can see the count level, right? If you might have some differentiator for these materials, it might be batches, or you might have some boxes. Which box has to be put it pick. Yeah, so we'll have that particular separate differentiator for that particular removing for that box. So you'll if you have the batches, in that case you'll have one separator. Yeah.
Okay.
So based on that, it will if you have the different batches, then system will not allow you to pick this. You'll have the label on this for everything. If the
Okay.
we'll just scan that label, if it is system allow, yes, take it out. It otherwise it will not allow. You see the
Mm.
boxes also will have the labels. So system will propose the automatically to which box has to be taken out, and the label whatever, if you scan all the more labels you can scan it, the whichever is system allowed, tag that one, you have to take it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have the separator for there for sure. It will not something that without separator this will put into that bin.
Okay.
Then you have the this structures, like you can see here, staging area, and if you have this deconsolidation area, and then you'll also can have some quality inspection area. So different area again, you can see here, packing area, staging area outbound, and taking out the goods from the warehouse to the customer. It is you'll have the door outbound area. This is example of warehouse structure for the based on the organization structure in the EWM. Yeah, and this is like a, we'll see the customization steps with the warehouse structure, the plant storage locations and warehouse numbers, and into the EWM. If you let me, okay, so this is something starting with the EWM config. Let me show you the first ECC basic config, how it is there. In SPRO, as we say yesterday, plant creation. Also the storage location creation we saw yesterday. Here in ECC side, again, you'll have the warehouse number created. This is to maintain the warehouse. This is definition section is to define it into the warehouse that we saw yesterday. Now you define it, but the assignment of this linking of this storage plant, then storage location and the warehouses will be done under the assignment tab. If you come here, you can see assign the plant to the company code. The again we'll have the plant and company code assigned here. This is just the assignment to linking those entity with each other. Again, in the sales part, the whatever the sales organizations and distribution channels, divisions, that all the sales office, this assigning the sales organization distribution channel to the plant. So this will be done under this sales and distribution tab. Then assigning the purchase organization and the to company code and to the plant will be done under this material management tab. This is some prerequisites should be done. Then here you can see assign the warehouse number to plant and the storage location. Here you can see, as I told you, there will be minimum two storage location. One is for D and one is the S. So you can see that. So storage location D and S is assigned to the warehouse number 101 into the EWM. Now this we need to say where this warehouse number is assigned to the EWM warehouse number. Yeah. Mm, Integration with the other SAP component. Did we have something EWM here? Yes. EWM settings. Yeah. Okay. This is the one important settings. If you see for this warehouse, and if extended whether that warehouse is for the local WM warehouse or it is the extended warehouse. So based on this setting, your delivery will be get distributed to particular system. Okay, this is the most important settings. Now you can see for these two warehouse, it's EWM managed warehouse. You see this is the EWM extended warehouse option. It is selected here, and based on distribution. Distribute it immediately and whenever documents got created. So these are the different settings of batch determination and that all. Yeah, this is the one setting we need to do. And here you can see assign warehouse number to the EWM warehouse number. You can see here now this warehouse number is mapped with the EWM warehouse number. In the EWM system, you'll have these warehouse numbers. You can see this is the 3-digit and this one is the 4-digit. This is the some basic settings which is you should know when you are dealing with the EWM system and ERP system. Yeah, then you'll have some different settings to for uh, you can see here generate distribution model for transactional data or transaction data transfer, and this is something the basic basis people settings they should do it. And also you'll have the these settings, name of logical systems and the assign to the client, set up the RFCs and that all to do the to receive the transactional data or to send the transactional data to the EWM or receiving from the uh, to send to the EWM system or receiving from the EWM system. So this is some basic settings which basis people will maintain or functional people can maintain this all. Yeah. So you just should know based on this linkage, logical system, business system, that I will show you when we are going to see into the detail level of ERP and EWM mapping between ERP and EWM system. In that case, I will show this all settings once from the scratch. At least you should have the some idea as a technical person. You should have the idea what are the basic settings based on which the linkage of between the ECC and ERP system happens. Yeah, and then we'll see what are the baddies available for to do the any customization or the any additional fields, custom fields has to be transferred from EWM to sorry from ERP to the EWM or reverse way. So we'll have that baddies also. I will show that baddies or standard function modules which SAP has used to uh, get the data from EWM system or to send data from the ERP system to the EWM system. So this is just some basics, company code, plant, then you'll have the storage location, then storage location will be assigned to the warehouse in the EWM, in the ERP system, and that ERP warehouse has to be mapped with the your EWM warehouse number. And the another property was that you have to make that warehouse number, whatever the warehouse number, it should be EWM managed warehouse number. Whatever warehouse number you are having in the ERP system, that has to be EWM warehouse managed number. That setting has to be done. Yeah, then this is something the starting of the organization structure in the EWM. Now you can see here, you'll have the EWM number assigned, then you'll have the custodian and the party entitled to dispose to that. Yeah.
Shiroj, can
So
you put it in slide?
yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can see here. Now we'll these are the some basic entities to the warehouse number you should have into the warehouse supply chain unit. What is the your supply chain unit? You'll have the one physical locations of that warehouse is called, you can say, the supply chain unit into the uh, EWM concept. Then custodian, you can see here the the business partner that stores or manages or your stock from the uh, it will the owner of the stock without we can say uh, 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 it will something xyz is warehouse is with me, and the suppose like xyz person has the owner of the stock, so we'll put that owner name into the custodian. I am not the owner of that stock, but it is in my warehouse, so that is called custodian, we say. And party entitled to dispose that represent the locations and normally the plant that represent who held the titles to store into the warehouse. Yeah, so you here in the party entitled will be the actual person who owns the warehouse, and the custodian is the person who owns the stock. Yeah, this is the difference between these two, custodian and party entitled dispose. These are the some default entity you can have the into the warehouse, something like a owner of the in the warehouse, and custodian will be the owner of the stock. Then default to a ship to, so where you are going to ship the stock, that we can mention it here in the default. Generally, if it is a something warehouse is a finished good, and you'll always ship the whatever goods you comes into the warehouse, you'll always ship into the some on a different distribution center in the same plant, from where you'll all the distribution of that stock will be sent to the end user customer. But this is something xyz warehouse, it's just to manage the finished goods whatever it comes from the plants. So in that case, if you have to just move the stock, you are not doing directly selling to the customer. In that case, you can have the default ship to party, where the stock will, what soon as it comes, it will send to the that particular ship to location. And supply chain unit is like a physical area locations of the your warehouse. Yeah, as I studied, I was saying general settings, whatever it was there into the storage type, different roles, you'll have different behaviors and different settings in the storage type based on what the behavior of the storage type it will be done. Yeah. When I go through the config, I will show you more important uh, options are available here. So you should go through that, and you must know the different options, important one. So because you might receive the lot of errors because of any wrong settings done in the storage type level. Yeah. I will show you once we start to go through the customer from through the system. Again, you'll have something door. You can see the whatever the physical locations in the doors, as it will be entity where it will be used to receive the stocks, and will also it will be used to send the stocks to the customer. So to be whatever the transportation activities or the vehicle activities received from this door, again this every activity tracking on the, you'll have the some plan into the big warehouses. Manager will not know which warehouse door is free, right, physically. So we'll define this whole warehouse this doors as a one bin in the warehouse, and then we'll see which are the bins are available. Yeah, and based on this system can determine automatically. So this new truck is coming, whichever the doors is available, assign that door to that truck. As soon as that truck arrived into the warehouse, then you can start your actual activity. Yeah, you will have the, you can do the planning of the receiving the trucks, and once the planning done, or you can start the activity of doing the unloading or the doing loading of the stock into the truck. That planning we docking scheduling planning, we say that concept of docking scheduling appointment uh, uh, planning. That is the concept we used to do the planning of the doors activities or the transportation unit activities. This is the part of your receiving and the sending activity. As this is the staging area, as I explained you, on the goods issue area and the goods as soon as goods receipt area. These are the interim storage location to do the unloading and the picking activity until they are put away or until they are loaded. This is a temporary location, we can say, to put the stock into the warehouse. You can see the structure. You can use the one staging area for multiple doors. It should not be problem. And you can have the staging based on different staging areas. You can perform the different activities or receiving activity. You'll from different doors. We'll have this, or you can use the one common door for the both. Was receiving on the issuing the stocks from the warehouse. Yes. Yeah, you can see the storage location as I was showing you. In the one storage, you can have the different based on the fast moving items, slow moving items. You can divide that storage type into the subdivision using the storage section. This I already saw. This is where settings we can define your activity areas, and that activity areas will be again assigned to that particular storage types. And the define all that activity, we need to do the sorting sequence. Okay, then only the activity areas can be assigned to that bins uh, of that particular storage types. We'll show you these settings also. You can see this activity area for this sequence. Based on this sequence only, the system will show you or determine will automatically where the stock should be start to store into the warehouse, or from where it should be picked from the warehouse. Yeah, so based on the activity and the sequence, now you can see here the activity area, and you can see sequence aisle stacks. So similarly you'll have the different sequence activity areas. This is storage bin, different storage bin for different storage types. The sorting of the storage bin, this is the most important activity in the storage bin. If you don't have the sortings for the storage bin, then system will not allow you to do the any picking or put away activity into the system automatically. Okay, so you must have that the sortings of the bins. So like for which beans has to be determined first sequentially into the warehouse to do the put away or picking or to put the stock into the where that particular bin sequence. So this sorting of the bins has to be done. You can see this is the stacks and levels, and the you'll have the aisles, stacks and levels. And bin sortings will be something like one, two, how you want to see, one, two, three, four. So how the bin sortings you are going to do, then that way the picking and put away activity will be done. Okay. So whichever way bin sorting is done, that way only the system will store your data into the storage bin, or it will propose to store the data, put the data into the particular bins. And you'll have the face the most of the problems in the systems if you don't have the sorting bins, and generally functional people forget it, or they have the complexity to defining the sortings in that way. It will not determine the stocks in the proper way, then they will get the lot of errors. In that case again it will come to the technical peoples, because this is the we system we were expecting to pick the stock from this bin, but now system is picking it from something different bin. It should not done. So this is the one important point you should keep in mind. For the sorting of the bins you have defined in the system, Please check that once. So at least they can review it, and if they rectified it, at least debugging efforts will be uh, saved there. Okay, so this is something bin sortings. You see here, sortings of the bins will be done based on the activity area, sequence number, and the sort sequence. And to do the sorting of bins, again SAP is given the standard transaction code SCWM SBST. This is the how storage bins is looks like into the EWM system. You can see,
Roj,
yeah.
when you say sorting of bins, right, that is same as like you explained sometime back, right? Like uh, first out expiry, like whichever stock is expiring first, you put it first. Is that
No, 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 no. That is
okay?
not. That is something removing the stocks from the bins. This is something the sequence of the bin in which it should be fills that bins into the warehouse.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. In which way order you should put the stocks? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. In which order you should put the stock into the warehouse bins into the warehouse. Yeah. That is.
Okay.
Then you can see this is the storage bin, and this is how it will looks into the system. You'll have these all the options available here. I will show you into details. You'll have the under which storage section, under which storage, sorry, under which storage type, in under which section that bin is represent, what is the bin type for that, different bin sorry, bin type for that, and you'll have the what is the limitations or the capacity in which aisles, you'll have this all the xyz coordinated coordinates for that bins, and you'll have some this indicators, set put away block or set stock removal block. Means if you put this indicator, then this you cannot do any put away activity inside this bin. Suppose you will have something, uh, you need to do the physical inventory. You physically you want to go and see what is there in the bin. Then to perform that activity, you have to set this indicator as a set put away block. Otherwise system, as it will automatically, as soon as delivery gets created into EWM system will automatically create the in the background system, will create the your put away task, and once put away task is created, it will determine that that put away bins has to be put into this sorry, that stock has to be put into this particular bins if it is not set as a block. So do any physical activity or to if you want to restrict the don't do any activity into the this particular bin, you can set these indicators. If you set this indicator, then that will be blocked for that particular activity. That bin will be blocked for that. Yeah, and then you can see here what is the stock available in that. I will show you in the system this one.
But we will have access in production to update this.
You'll not, your operator will not have it, but the manager or super user will have that
Okay.
access.
Okay.
They will have the access, and they will not go one by one here. Okay, they will not go one by one. Set these indicators. You'll have the warehouse monitor concept, right? In that you'll have the
Mhm.
options to put all the bins in the block status, or take out all the block status from that particular sections, or manually it will not go and go into this transaction.
Okay.
Then you can see here, this is a settings from where we'll do the our storage bin settings, how it should be controlled. Yeah, and this is something RF related things needs to be done based on using the verification feeds. That all settings parameters of the storage bins is available here, and uh, whether it is a fire containment sections will be used for that, that bin is used for the to handle the hazardous materials, so that indicator will pass into their capacity checks. If we need to do, then that particular capacity checks also will maintain it here. So these different parameters of the storage bins to do the different validations or to put the restrictions into the bins will be used. Okay, so this is set for the organization elements, or we can say the organization structure for both ERP and the EWM organization structures. If you have any doubts or query on here till from the organization structure point of view, yeah. So as a some basic concept, you must know what is the organization structure it's required in the ERP system, and what is the organization structure available in the into the EWM system. Based on this organization structure, everything is going to be uh, performed going forward into the warehouse for the each and every activity based on these organization structures. If you have any doubts, query, yeah, you can free to ask.
I'm good for now.
Okay, yeah. So let's do some basic knowledge check. How much we understood for this two organization structure. Like, what is the use of activity area in the beans? If anyone can answer, if they understood the activity area concept.
Yeah, activity area, we have storage areas like multiple plants. Under that, sometimes multiple storage areas and plants, that whatever they design their structure, right?
Hmm. Yeah, you're close to that. Anyone else?
So activity area is where you do all the activities, right? Like unpacking, packing, uh, all those activities.
Right. Yeah. It will be. Yeah, it's correct. Both of you. This activity area, as I said, it is the logical units into the warehouse where we will perform. If you need to perform some activity from the different storage location, or from the you'll have the to do the perform activity in the aisles for the different storage locations, or the in the same bins of the bulk of the bins from that particular area will be considered as a one activity area where you will do the all your picking put away activity or internal activities. So and assigning that to the particular user, that task, the activity area is a important or mandatory entity into the warehouse to assign
Yes.
that task to the user. Yeah. Yeah. Then second, what is the highest unit and smallest unit in the warehouse structure? If anyone can.
Mm,
So highest is your warehouse, and smallest is your storage
Bin
bins, uh, and the
quant.
next level will be quants.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Did we go through the this warehouse center? No, work center. No, right?
No.
Okay. I think I missed out. Huh? Okay. This is let me explain that also. Work center is the active the we can say is the area where you will perform your particular activity, like something packing or reworking on the pallet. Suppose from the truck you will get the one big pallet, right, of the products. Once you do the unloading, after unloading you have to unpack, or you have to remove that pallet, or you have to remove that box and take out the materials from that particular box to put into the particular bins. Okay, so in that, to perform that activity, or we can say to perform that activity, we need to have the one work center area into the warehouse. So that one work center area has to be defined into the warehouse, or it can be the area we will have to define as a storage type, and the role of that storage type has to be work center. Yeah, and to perform that particular warehouse process, you need to define that work center into the warehouse, like perform the packing unpacking of the pallets, right? So we called that is a deconsolidation process into the EWM. Okay, and then or to put different products into the one pallet. Okay, that we called the consolidation process. To perform all such activity or to do the quality inspection, of that product, whatever we received, we need to check the quality check of those product. To perform that activity also, you need to define the work center. Unless and until you are not defining the work center, then you'll not be able to perform that particular activity. Okay, so work center has to be defined to do any physical activity into the warehouse, or any rework activity we can say into the warehouse, to labeling of the parts, materials to goods, or repacking of the goods, or doing the value added services to the goods. So do all that activity will require the work center into the warehouse. Yeah.
So Rohit, how different are works? What is the difference between work centers and activity area?
Yeah. This is a something to assign the taking out the stock, or putting stock into the beans. This is to perform the activity into the beans when it is doing. But this is activity where you'll do the some additional activity before putting stock into the bin. Okay, suppose we had that layout. You see here, this area, this deconsolidation area, once stock comes into the EWM, sorry, in the GR zone, this is GR zone. As soon as it's removed from the GR zone, it has to do some additional activity before put the stock into the beans, particular beans. So in this, suppose here you'll have one activity area, but here this is the area where you are doing pre-packing or packing or labeling into the product before it put into the your final beans. So for to perform that such activity, you need to have the work center. You see here packing activity, you'll need to have the work center. Yeah, that is the difference between the work center and the activity area. You'll not have something activity area here. You'll have to do the activity inside the your final bin to perform any activity, something like physically inventory you need to do, whether how much stocks is available into the that particular bins, or it is left, do that again activity area is required. To remove the stock from this bin, to move into the staging area, again the activity is required. Or put to push the stock whatever we received into the warehouse to put into the final bin, again that activity area is required. So that is the difference between these two. The activity which you are going to perform into the actual bins, that is for that activity area is required. And the activity which you are going to do some additional rework or labeling, or the value added services, something, whatever the box you received from the customer, from the into the warehouse, you would do the repacking of that one. You'll put the some stickers, or you'll do the put that box, put that product into the wooden box, and then wooden box will be put into the bin. So to do that such activity will require that one.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then you can see here is a yard represented by the storage type. Is true or false? Any idea?
It's true, right?
Yeah. So any entity which needs to be done in the warehouse will be represented as a storage type. Then it is a mandatory to work with the storage section in the warehouse.
Yes. True.
Anyone?
Is false.
Yeah, it's false. Storage section is not mandatory to work in with
It's
the.
optional, huh?
Yeah,
But
it's
in
all.
the configuration, right?
Yeah, in the configuration, if you have the requirement to do the fast moving, slow moving in the warehouse, but in the some warehouses you'll not have that requirements. You'll just take the stock and put into the bins. That's it. Whatever the bins are available. So in the such a situation, the storage
I
section
see.
is not required. Clear? Okay.
Are you going to show one demo as well in the system? this configuration, whatever you have
Yeah,
just
yeah. Sorry.
mentioned, our structure
Yes.
and the warehouse from ECC to EWM.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Let's see that. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you to reminding me. I had missed out. Okay. Again in SPRO. You'll have the option here, SCM, extended warehouse management, if you have the EWM system into the scope.
Sorry if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Yeah.
Is it possible to start from the ECC to EWM?
Okay.
We'll do the first the configuration from ECC to EWM, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The warehouse linking and the storage bin linking, right?
Okay. So we'll, as you see, we'll use this plant 1010. Okay. Then for that plant, we'll assign the storage location, received on dock, and available for sale. These are the two storage type we'll going to use. And this is will be the purchasing organizations will be required for the purchase order. Then this warehouse number will be used. We will use. We'll consider only this. These two are there. We can use any one of these. So this one, not one. This is a ERP warehouse number which has to be defined. This is all definitions. Then you can see here shipping points. This will be the shipping points. This is required to see in the sales order case. Once we define these three, planned storage location, the purchasing organization, and this all, okay, then we'll do the assignment. And this particular things will be done by the ERP functional people, not the something EWM functional people also. Okay. Then we'll assign the assignment into logistic control. Sorry, in the assignment, the assignment of the plant to the company code will be done here. You can see the plant. Again, you can see the assignment of the your sales areas will be done here. Assignment of the organizations, sales organization to the company code and distribution channel and division. For sales order area, we require this. Then again, assignment of the purchase organization to the plant and company code will be done in these options. Not taking through these options because this is the commonly used even in the ERP, so you might be aware of these tools, these things. Then this is the most important assignment of the your storage location to the warehouse. So you can see here this issued on dock and available for sales. The assignment of the storage location is done to the this warehouse number. Then assignment of the shipping point to the plants also is done here. You can see shipping points. These all are assigned to these.
Sorry to interrupt. So what are you doing the settings in the, this is a SCM system or a S4 system?
S4
I mean,
system, S4 system. You see, this is a HANA system. Okay.
yeah,
In the same system, you'll have the both settings. Okay. This is a
okay,
combined embedded HANA system. So where you will have the EWM setting as well as the ERP system. It is the one box. That's why you are able to see I'm doing everything into the one box itself, right? But
okay.
if you have the decentralized separate two boxes, okay, if you have the separate two boxes, then you will not have this option to in that boxes that SCM EWM this option will not be there. This one will not be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ours is the decentralized, right?
yeah. That is what you will not have this
So
option.
then what is the more difference in this, the,
Sorry.
see, now you are showing as the warehouse number is the three digit in the ECC
Ah,
level, but whereas in the SCM there is a 4 digit.
right.
When we are comparing with the decentralization, how I need to identify which is the related to the my warehouse number is configured to the ECC and S4 EWM system.
Yeah, you see here, this all the in enterprise structure in the ECC system, even if it is a let it be decentralized or the centralized. Yeah, in that case, you'll have this option in both in the decentralized also. In ECC system, you'll have this enterprise structure. Here you'll be able to see it. The what is your ECC warehouse number is defined. Yeah, into the definition in the logical execution, you'll see here what is the warehouse number is defined for that particular plant and the storage location. Now once you see here in the S4 in the SCC system, this warehouse number is defined. Now you'll need to see to which warehouse number this ECC system, so which this ECC warehouse number to which EWM warehouse number it is mapped. That I will show you. Okay.
So you mean to say even if it is decentralized or centralized, the
Settings are
configuration
same.
part is same.
Same. It will be in the same options. Only thing is in the centralized system, this tab is there available where you will do the EWM setting.
EWM system.
Yeah, in this EWM tab will be available in your separate EWM system. This tab will not be available into your ECC system. Okay, even now SAP has come up with the even if it is a S4 HANA system, okay, a same box, but still some user might business might wanted to behave this EWM system as a decentralized. In that case also SAP has given the option here. You can see enable decentralized EWM. If they set this setting, then that will be behavior as a decentralized EWM. Okay, even if it is the your embedded system, but it should be behave as a decentralized. That option will be there. Yeah, but settings you can see will be the same. This in the under the SCM EWM, you will have all your EWM related settings, and the this apart from that ECC related settings will be there inside this notes whatever it is available in the ECC system.
Yeah, thank
Clear?
you. Yeah, clear, clear. Yeah.
Yeah,
But last last one question, just one curiosity
yeah.
to know this one. If suppose we are doing the any delivery in inbound delivery, we are receiving the EWM system, how the difference in the embedded and centralized?
Okay.
Now, because there is a
Yeah,
QRFC for us, but whereas
right.
in embedded system, it is already integrated with everything. So there
No,
is
but
a QRFC, the concept will be
still,
there, or
still it will be there. Still through QRFC only that it will come to the you'll have that QRFCs there also. Yeah. Then you can see in the embedded everything VL03 N it is available. You'll do
okay, the
this
concept will be
VL03.
same, everything. So even
Everything will
embedded.
be embedded. You'll do the VL03 in the same system and also EWM transaction code, whatever it is there for the delivery,
Okay.
PRDI. You'll do both into the same
Mainly,
system.
my point is the QRFC, how we will need to identify. Why? Because it is a main embedded system, right? So
So
how we
you'll
will
have
check the
you'll have the
bugs and in
dummy
case it.
logical system. You'll have the dummy logical system configured for that. Okay.
Okay.
Dummy
Yeah.
logical system and the business systems so configuration. So basis part is there that I will show you when we are going to see the ERP and EWM delivery mapping settings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thanks, Ravidas. Yeah.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
continue.
You'll need to create the dummy logical system for that. Okay, so then this is the ERP settings. We're defining the storage location, plant, and warehouse. Then mapping with the here, where is that mapping? You can see in the one box. Now you just try to understand in the one box, it has the your ERP server as well as your SCM server. Okay, so to even in the one box to communicate with each other, that two servers, you need to have this configuration settings. Yeah? You can see this with other SAP components and this all. Yeah? In S4 HANA, they just combined that two box into the one, but server and that it will be the different if I am not wrong. Yeah? Now you can see in S4 system again you'll have to in ERP system whatever your one decentralized ERP ECC system, right? So you need to go here in integrate with other SAP component, and from here configure SAP EWM specific parameter. From here, this is the most important settings. Whatever the warehouse you are there, here you are in defined in the ECC system, that warehouse setting has to be enabled like EWM extended management settings. Okay, then only it will be represent this warehouse is mapping, this warehouse is a EWM managed warehouse. Okay, in ECC, this warehouse is EWM managed warehouse in ECC. If you have these settings available. Now you can see here queued serialization communication, how it will be done, batch and this some basic delivery changes, how it should be done, that settings will be there. You can see here receiver, who is the receiver? Yes, for EWMs, so logical is the receiver. Queue inbound. Okay, so through logical system, the receiving and the sending will be done. So here you will in your ECC in ECC system, you will have the logical system name which is defined there in EWM system. Yeah, into to receive this. Again, you will just whatever the warehouse is there, you will generate EWM system of logical system of EWM. Yeah, you can see here the distribution model is generated for the particular object types and that all. Delivery change, delivery replica, this delivery save. Through this, you will receive and send the your details to the EWM system or receive it from the EWM system from the ECC. You see here, S4 is ECC and receiver is the EWM. Okay. You can see for the decentralized EWM, we'll have these options. This everything will be done by the basis people. Will not do actually generally. But if for master data or distribution module has to be created, reduce message types for the EWM master data has to be there. So depends on the requirement, we'll do these settings. Once distribution modules is created, then you'll see for the master data and for even ERP, QRF transfer, you'll have that. Then here you can see which warehouse number is mapped, which ECC warehouse number is mapped with the EWM warehouse number. You'll have the same settings in your ECC system. Hope it's clear now. At least ECC part, I will just show, give the overview of the organization structure, how we defined into the EWM. Okay. In EWM system also, you have to see what is your ECC managed EWM mapped done into the EWM system. Now you did the settings to map in the ECC system what will be the your EWM managed warehouse. But in EWM also you have to see what is your ERP managed warehouse and the mapping should be done with your EWM system. So that let's see that here. Uh, in the SCM, you can see here SCM basis, SCM basis settings. Okay, this will be your logical systems which you are going to define and assign the clients, then set up the RFCs, all the RFC destinations, maintaining the business systems. This is your basis settings which will be required to get the data or to communicate with the EWM system, yeah, or any other systems if you are going to through the communicate with the logical systems. Like if you have the something called automation systems available into the warehouse, that has to be done through the idocs or you can do it through the your ALE. uh, uh, then for that again you'll need to set up this all logical system to communicate with the non-SAP or SAP systems whichever are available there. So this is basic settings will be done. And interfaces, I think you can see here interfaces, ERP integration, GTS integration, TM integration, GBT integrations. So whichever systems is available, ERP, GTM, TM, all other module systems. So that integration settings will be done under this even RFID system, enterprise services. So will be done, the integration from the EWM will be done with that particular respective system. Now here you can see SAP has given some tools to do the all warehouse integration and system connections with the ERP, how it has to be done. So if it is greenfield implementation, something is going to be there, then we can functional people use these options to do the setting with the ERP system to do the integrations. Okay. In general settings, again the same settings whatever was there in the below, we'll have the same settings here. Define the business system here. S4H 100. So this, what is this business system? This is a something system you can have the like as I shown you in the system landscape. You can connect the your EWM system with the multiple ERP system, right? You can have the multiple ER system connected to this one EWM system. So that this business system is represent the one ERP system. Okay? If you have the another ERP system, then you'll define is one more entry here. That is, you'll have the different business system. So understand this is the most important. Means based on this business system, whatever the documents you are going to receive it from the different different ERP system, this will be the differentiator in between that. Based on the business system, you will receive the different documents from the different ERP system. To represent different ERP system, this entity has to be created in EWM system. So you need to see whether you have the multiple ERP system support available to connect with the one EWM system, then the settings will be done. Then for that business system, we'll again have the one whatever the logical system it is created in the ECC, that logical system has to be defined here. Yeah, for that particular business system. So you can see here the linkage between the this logical system again used to receive, get the ERP data and get the master data from the ECC system. And the same logical system is assigned to the business system. Assign the warehouse number from the logistic execution. Now you can see if you have the only one ERP, only one what we say ERP system, it's nothing mandatory to maintain something in this entry. Okay, you can just maintain this warehouse number, which is mapping. Same mapping we did in the ECC system also. Here also we need to do the same mapping. What is the ERP warehouse number, and that represents to the EWM warehouse number. This settings is done under the EWM system. Okay, under the SCM or EWM tab. Then this is something business. If you have different plant and business partners, you will not have the this settings to be done. Yeah, but in our case, only one plant is there, so it is not required. You can see here different business system. Again, the settings, the same setting as you seen for logical transaction code we have done under the ECC system. Here you were having the logical system of the EWM, but here you have the business system for the inbound queue, and this business system is assigned to the logical system of your ERP system. Hope you are not getting confused.
Come again, Rohitas, please. Come again.
Yeah, you see this business system for the communication or QRFC configurations, right? For you have the this business system again inbound queues, whatever it is there, we are going to receive from the ERP system. So for this business system, we have assigned the logical system of the ERP logical system to the this one. So once you receive the queues or queues from the ERP system through this business system, it will become to the EWM. Then in EWM, instead of the your logical system, this will play the role. Yeah? Business system will play the role because you can have the multiple ERP system assigned to the one EWM system. Due to that, this business system comes into the picture in EWM. If you have the multiple ERP system, then again same setting has to be done for all that ERP system here. Got it?
Yeah.
And then this generally we don't do this. We again will be done by the basis or the functional will not do this generally. Even will not have the authorization to do all these things. Yeah, in the actual scenarios. Okay, then you see the integration part. This I will show you once we go through the our all delivery processing. Let me just take you to the master data elements, whatever we have seen it. You can see here warehouse number is defined just simply. This is a central warehouse number. So generally what we do, if it is a greenfield implementation, we just copy this warehouse number into the your custom warehouse number. Okay, that is the what SAP has suggested. So subsequent whatever the settings are there behind the for this central warehouse, that all settings can get copied automatically. Something QRFC related settings, some basis settings, everything has to be get copied to the this custom warehouse. So you must copy it always from the central warehouse to get all the standard settings available for that your custom warehouse as well. This is how SAP has suggested. Now we can see warehouse number assignment. Again, we so the supply chain unit, custody, and this all details we will assign to the warehouse. Now define the warehouse number control. Yeah, you can see here the how the warehouse should be controlled into the EWM. These are the some different settings which is available. This will explain you once as soon as we covered some topics going forward, printing topics or some inbound or outbound topics. In that case, I will explain these settings to you people. Then the number ranges you'll have here. What is the warehouse task number ranges and the was whatever the documents is going to be created in the EWM to maintain all that number ranges. You can have it. Warehouse order, this warehouse was order, physical inventory documents, the internal number ranges for the warehouse number. So all these number ranges will be maintained. Now you can have here storage location. Now you see this is the standard storage locations SAP has provided with. Come up with. This is a standard we can use in your custom storage location as well if it is required. Yeah, and let me show you some settings. Storage type role. This is the one important setting you should know. Depends on the different activity. Like if it is a door, for a door also we need to create the storage type, right? So role of that storage type will be the door. Then you will have the work center. If you need to do something VAS activity, deconsolidation activity, or any repacking, packing activity, for that storage type, you will assign it the work center role. So different for different activity or different things which you are going to represent into the warehouse for that area, we'll define it as a separate storage type and the role of that one. Now you can see here the behavior of the storage, whether it should be standard warehouse storage or it is pallet storage, the bulk storage or flexible storage. If you have the pallet storage, if you select it, then you need to store always the pallets into this warehouse. Otherwise, without pallet or without the pallet is nothing but the we can say is the wooden box which can be there on which in that wooden box will put the your products, or it can be called paper box or cartons. So whatever the wrapper boxes which is there available into warehouse, that is called we can say the uh, handle unit. We can say pallet is nothing but a handle unit number. Okay, so what that I will explain you going further the handle unit number or what is the important of that when we go through the master data. Yeah, so I will explain that all the things. So pallet storage, bulk storage, so different behavior of the storage type will be defined it here. Now this is the one more important whether what is the yet you should be allowed or not. Okay, not allowed, allowed but not required. So this, based on these settings, it will be decided whether this palette can have the HUs or mixed without HU or with HU. So based on these settings, the behavior of the storage type will be done. Then here you can mention maximum number of bins into the warehouse, sorry, into the storage type. If you want to restrict the number of bins, has to be defined into the hierarchy, so into the storage type, you can mention it here. Or if you want to use the storage type for the fixed bins, okay, then you need to tick mark this one. Okay. Then you'll have put away controls indicators. Okay, confirm put away, this tick mark has to be there if you want to put your stock into the bins. Okay, these settings will be done when you are actually putting stock into your final hierarchy bins, hierarchy storage type, or the bulk storage type, where you actually store your products. Okay, and so in that case you'll have this one. If the storage type is HU managed, then this tick mark has to be there, HU type check for that. Then storage and put away control indicator, this I will explain going forward when we going to see the LOSC, POSC, the control indicators. This, if we are going to have, like as I said, right, system will show you the as soon as stocks come into the warehouse, system will directly determine under which bin this stock has to be put. Before that, whether let it be with before that quality inspection of the stock, repacking, relabeling of the for that stock, all the activity to be done, but still the system will show you where that stock has to be put. To that will be done through the picking and put away strategies, and for that you need to have this indicator tick marked to whether it will support that picking put away strategy. So for that, this indicator will be used. Here you can see again, if you don't want to put the HUs into the bins, you can just tick mark this one. Yeah, and this is the put away rules. Means what will be the rules we need to used to put the stock into the particular storage type. You can see here additions to the existing stock and bins. Means if you have the stock already available into the storage types, okay, and that storage type, if you have the bins, XYZ bins, in that bin already you have the 1 2 3 stock available, but you, if you put these settings in the same bin, capacity of that bins is something 10 piece, but already in that bin it has the occupied with the 2 pieces, 8 piece of the capacity is already available there. So system will put that 8 pieces into that particular bin, and then only it will determine the another bin. So unless and until your bins are not getting filled, the next bin will not be determined. Let it be your pieces, irrespective of the quantity whatever you are getting from the in the warehouse to put into the bins. Okay, so if you have this option, it will always pull the one bin, then only it will ask put the stock to in the next bin. Okay, then consolidation group, if you have used this one, this is something to consolidate the some based on the groups, or you'll have the some uh, groups of the products whichever you are getting, then group of the products has to be stored into that particular group of the bins. So whatever the consolidation group you are going to create for those bins, that will be again stored into that particular bins. Yeah, and this general storage, again this general storage is nothing but it is just similar to this one, both s- same, but it will not what we say, there is one small difference between these two. I missed out. Okay, I will explain this later. I missed out this. There is a very small difference between these two, but you can just consider these two are like a similar with each other. Then empty bin. If you set this one, always system will try to determine whatever the XYZ you put, irrespective of the bin capacity. As soon as you get the next lot, it will try to search the empty bin. That's it. Then in transit warehouse staging, this is option will be used if for the your staging area storage type, yeah, and for doors. So this option will be used for put away. This is one important setting. Then removal. Okay, the if you have this tick mark, then that means you can remove the stock from the that particular storage type. If you don't have this stock tick mark, then you will not be able to remove the stock from that storage type. Okay, so you must have this tick mark. And again, you can, based on the stock removal rule which you are going to assign here. Okay, this might be removal rule is not assigned to this, created for this warehouse, so it's not showing here. But stock removal rule, if you have the FIFO, LIFO, or the expiry, first expiry, first out, that rules you can assign it here. Then goods movement control. Okay, so this availability group 002 is assigned to the your stock type. Okay, this is the most important settings you can say. And this stock type 002 is assigned to the stock type, and that stock type will be represented whether it is restricted, unrestricted, whether it is received on docked, or whether it is available for sales. 002 is nothing but available for sale. If you have this assign this 002, that means the whatever the stock will come inside this storage type, you can create the outbound delivery for those stocks. Or if you have the storage type something staging area storage type, right, GR staging area storage type, for that you will have the another availability group 001, which will be again restricted stock type. So availability group will be represented to your particular stock types. That I will show you once we see the ERP mapping between the systems, what stock type and availability groups is going to be there. And this is something to internal processes to be handled, replenishment. So this is optional things. So yeah, availability group, this confirm removal, then you will have this put away rule, these two check marks, the role beware, and all ratio requirements. Then all other things is for the some different purposes. So try to understand the options of this, all the options, based on the different requirement, the how the storage type has to be restricted, validated, or what kind of separations needs to be done in the storage type, anything into the warehouse, because everything is done based on the storage type only. So this is the highest, we can say, the one entity where your settings start with. If some settings something is not me put it here, then that process will not work at all. Something, yeah. So you should know the all these options. You can just directly come here and just put the F1. You will get to know what is the use of that. It is given very much details. Yeah, as SAP know the significance of all these things, so it is given in the very much detail of the each and every option. In which case you should use these options. Yeah, so try to go through these options and try to understand as much as possible this all the options. Then it will be very easy for you people to identify the errors if you get into the EWM. Otherwise it will be very difficult, because initially I had faced a lot of issues as I was not aware about these settings. So to debugging, just blindly debugging in the EWM, it will screw up. I know the things how it will work. So try to understand this as much as possible. It will take some time to understand you, but just try to just have the some readings on this. As soon as you get the errors, because that errors will become again, if you have the readings on this point, that errors will come related to these readings always. Then you will get some idea. Yeah, I'm definitely sure this issue is something at the storage type level. Yeah. Hope it's clear to everyone. This is a very important entity and the settings of the storage type. If anyone has any doubts on this, please let me know. Then here we'll define the again storage section. If you have the requirement to do the sectioning of the stocks into the storage type, we'll use this entity as a storage section. Yeah, subdivision into the storage type. Storage type group. Yeah, and this is the some optional things which for the storage type. Suppose you'll have the bulk storage or the high-rack storage into the warehouse, but the put away rule or the stock removal rule for both, it should be the same. So you can use the storage type group for the same, and then you can mention here what should be the first input, first output, on what should be the put away rule, as I shown you right here. Whatever the storage type there, it was there. So you can mention it here for that bulk of the storage types. Again, you'll have the assign the storage type to the storage type groups. Yeah, these are the settings which needs to be done for the storage bin type, storage bin access. If you see here in the warehouse level, the storage bin will be block size 1, block size 2, high location height 1, 2. Based on the requirement from the customer, we'll define the storage type. Sorry, storage bin type. The bin access type. Here you can see something high level order or without this different low level order pickers, high level order pickers. Depends on the requirement from the customer. Will access define the bin access type. So based on the this bin access type, the your handling unit number will be created. Okay, so if you have the HU managed warehouse storage type, in that case you will require this one. Storage type identifier for the storage bin structure. You see, so as I was saying you, the bin will should be unique in the warehouse. Yeah, so IL ID, stack level, identifier for subdivision and depth of the bin. So based on this identifier, your bin structure will be defined. You can see here the bin structure, the sequence number for the storage type, for which storage type, which bin bin type, what the template it should be used. Yeah, you can see here, and the template should be CCCC. This standard template SAP has provided. You can use such as a templates. Then structure, IL, SS, tag, bin level, bin depth. So this structure you can use based on your requirement into the warehouse. Yeah, we have very depth level of bins needs to be defined in the complex like Amazon warehouses. You might seen it, how big might be that, right? So have naming the bins in the that big warehouses. So this is kind of structuring of the bins they have to follow. Yeah, so then this much depth level of the beans will be available there, even small to small boxes. If you have the pharmaceutical managed warehouse, in that case also you imagine how much products they might have and how the managing of that stocks into the warehouse has to be complex, or how much complex it might be there. So based on that, SAP has given the different bin structure options based on the different business requirement. So it depends on us which we are going to use it. Yeah, for that particular warehouse type. So from here, bin structure only your bins creation will be start. Okay. You can create the bins in the bulk. You'll yeah, even you'll have the options file template, Excel file templates from where master data team will give the these are the number of bins has to be created and these are the sequence. We will just give the template to them, so they will generate the number of bins into the Excel, and we'll just upload that file into the EWM system, and the system will automatically create that particular number of bins. Because one of our H&M client I was working for, that they were having 8 lakh bins in the one warehouse. Okay, so you can imagine how complex that warehouse was there. So that we had used this bin structure for that. So SAP is supporting the complex to complex warehouses. So they have given very nice options in EWM to manage all those things. Then staging area, as I was saying, you should have the staging area. Again, this will be associated with the doors always, because this is a in transit or storage location or in transit area where you'll receive the stock temporarily, right? We'll put the stock temporarily over there, and that will be always associated with your doors. You can see here staging area, standard staging areas are there. This is something for the GR. This is the for the staging area which is receiving from the production line, and this is the staging area which is for the outbound. Yeah, and you have the loading rules. Unless and until loading cannot start until the staging has been completed. Okay, so you'll have these options whether loaded can be done when it is first to allowed into staging. So for outbound area, you'll have the when you can start the loading that can be controlled from in the staging area settings from here. Yeah, so for the production area, GR area, and the outbound area. Again, staging area to the door determination group means as I shown in the one like a map, that multiple doors can be assigned to the one staging area. Okay, so you can have the different doors, different two doors into the one door group, and that one door, two doors has to be determined that particular staging area. For that, this setting is required. Okay, then here you will define the doors, and you can see what your doors you are going to define here. Door 1, 2, 3, 4 inbound, whether it is for the inbound door, outbound door, or whether it is for both, and what would be the your default staging group and staging what is this staging area. Yeah, you can do the door settings here. Then you'll have the assignment staging area to the door determination group, and assign the staging area to the door. This to which door has to be assigned to the which staging area. So this is basic organization activity we need to do for the warehouse door. So this is the I will once we see the sending and receiving topic, we'll cover this one. Activity area, you can see here. There will be the different activities in the warehouse. We have the standard activities are defined in the warehouse. So this activity cannot be customized. Okay, so it should be always the whatever it is given in the standard. You cannot custom these activities. You can see here cross line, internal act movement, physical inventory. Pick is your stock removal. Put away is you're putting stock into the bin. Replenishment activity, posting change activity. So different activity will be performed will be defined here to perform the some different activity into the warehouse. Yeah, then we'll have define the activity area. Here you can define the activity area, and generally what we do, whatever the storage type we created, we just create the with the same naming closure for the activity area also. Yeah, so you can see here with the same name. So this is activity area is defined. Now you can see assign storage bin to the activity area. You can, as I say, told you, from the one aisle, from the different storage type, the aisle start, and from which aisle to which aisle it has to be, that activity area has to be assigned. So you can do that assignment from here. Yeah. This is again bin sorting, how it should be done for which activity, whether the sorting should be in the ascending order, descending order, whether how it should be stack level, bin subdivision level point, or how the sequence you wanted to have. In whichever way you wanted to have the sorting, that way you can do the settings over here. Then you can have the work center here. We can see here standard work centers. You can see GOK to deconsolidation, to do the deconsolidation activity into the goods receipt. You can have this work center SAP has provided, or reverse kitting, repack the scrapping, packing into the staging area. So these are the different work center to perform different activity. And in that you can see what will be your storage type, in under which step it should be done, these steps and all these things I will explain you when we are going through the uh, storage control settings into the warehouse. Okay, so this is required to determine the next activity what SAP has to be performed automatically into the warehouse. Okay, as soon as you complete your unloading, SAP should propose the operator, now you completed your unloading activity, perform the next activity for this product as a repacking of the products. Okay, SAP will suggest that to the operators what till the stock is put into the your warehouse. So do this automation and all that, this all the steps and this storage control settings are required. Yeah, so once we go through that I will explain the what is the steps and all these things. Okay, so this is the basic organization elements in EWM systems which we should know, and the settings of those. This is mostly will be done by the functional people, obviously. But if you have the idea on all these settings, then for you people it will be very easy to do the any kind of coding into EWM, because based on related to this activity what you are going to perform and into the warehouse, and if standard SAP has not given the solution for that to perform such activity, then again you need to do the your customization logic to complete that one. Yeah, so this was the basic organization unit elements things we were having. uh, is it okay we extend it for the 1 hour? Let me see my calendar, just a second. No, I have a meeting with the at 9:30. Okay, uh, we will stop here today for the today.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.